Ooh, welcome back. Good Thursday morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and I hope you're having a great morning. It is Thursday, July 30th. It is 7:01 on the East Coast. The Bank of England making its rate decision moments ago, leaving interest rates unchanged at 3.75% as expected. We will check markets coming up. Meanwhile, the Department of War awarding Lockheed Martin an additional $53.86 billion for a new 7-year contract to create more PAC-3 missile interceptors. The new funding enabling the American defense company to boost production once again and triple its capacities by the end of 2030. This new funding, in addition to a previous $4.4 billion contract awarded back in April, bringing the total value to $58.62 billion. Joining me now in this Fox Business exclusive is the CEO of Lockheed Martin, Jim Taiclet. Jim, great to have you back. Welcome.
Good morning, Maria. Great to be here.
Yeah. Congratulations on this new big deal. I want to hear more about it. It feels to me like after years of talking about modernization, we are actually entering a new decade of mass production. Are you entering a new defense supercycle?
We think we are. The current administration, led by President Trump, supported by Secretary Hegseth and Deputy Secretary Feinberg, they're changing the entire game on defense acquisition. And we wanted to lead that effort right with them, and it's happening now. I'm actually in our factory in Orlando, Florida, where you can see behind me our team is busy working to put out the equipment that we need to defend the country. So we should be in a defense supercycle, I would say, as well, as you just did, Maria. And also, this company, we believe that Lockheed Martin is the leading defense technology company in the free world, and we're going to keep it that way.
Absolutely. And we are in a moment when our adversaries are on the move. Your backlog right now is what? Over $230 billion, Jim? Tell us about the backlog and whether or not you're going to be able to mass produce in the time that this country needs it. We know President Trump wants this mass produced right now.
So in our recent earnings call, you're absolutely right. We announced a $230 billion backlog. When you add the $54 billion in this contract modification, you're pushing $300 billion of backlog for the company. We are well positioned to make that happen. We have a joint plan with the Department of War and our suppliers, really important suppliers, to ramp up, triple, as you said, the Patriot missile production. We're actually going to be deploying and developing, again, with our government partners, a lower cost Patriot missile that we call PAC-3 Ace, which will be about half the cost, do about 2/3 of the mission set. So we want to innovate right along with the production ramp that we're doing, and we can do both of those at the same time.
And you're innovating and investing. The company has invested roughly $8 to $9 billion into modernizing several U.S. facilities through the year 2030. You announced that $60+ million investment into your facility in Pennsylvania to create more than 700 new jobs. Do you see the interest from newcomers, employees who want to get into modernizing defense? What's your take in terms of the job creation and the skill sets required to take on these roles?
So, Maria, we've got 125,000 teammates in the company already. And when we put out opportunities to hire, we get plenty of takers, plenty of interviews. We can pick the best of the best. We're actually training people all the way from high school with internships through PhD level and recruiting from the best schools in the country at every level. We're having a lot of success on getting people into the plants and getting people into the design shops so that we can do the job that we're being asked to do.
Wow, that is just incredible, Jim. Congratulations on all of this. You've dramatically increased your production of missiles. I want to also get your take on the F-35. It feels that the program appears to be back on track. Is this a growth story once again for the F-35? Or where is the biggest demand right now in terms of ammunition?
So for F-35, we have a production rate of 156 aircraft a year. We work with the U.S. government and take their leadership and guidance and where those aircraft are allocated. So right now, the president's budget, original budget, looked for 85 U.S. aircraft. The balance would be in the next order to our international allies. And there's very high demand around the world for this aircraft because it's the only fifth-generation fighter plane in production today in the free world. And we've got to keep up and show potential adversaries that we are going to be able to outbuild them with the best technology along the way. And that will help with what our real product is here. It's deterrence from armed conflict. So, Maria, we're in the aerospace and defense industry, but we're in the business of providing deterrence against armed conflict. And if we've got the best systems in the world and we can produce them at a rate that's competitive with potential adversaries, we will be successful in building that product, which is deterrence, maybe the most valuable product you can be involved with in the private sector economy.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest moves toward deterrence is what President Trump has announced, and that is the Golden Dome. And I want to ask you about that, because if Congress fully funds the Golden Dome, where does Lockheed play the biggest role? What would be your role in terms of the Golden Dome? Is it missiles? Is it space? Is it sensors? Walk us through that.
It's actually all of those, Maria. So if you sort of go from the ground up, we build the critical radar systems that are in use today, both strategic radars. We have one in Alaska we just turned on. Also, mid-size radars that are fixed. Also, mobile radars. For example, we have every layer of radar covered with our company. Look behind me, you can see the Morpheus drone. That is the lowest level of air defense for Golden Dome, meaning how do we shoot down drones and low, slow-flying cruise missiles that could be targeted at the United States or at venues like the Super Bowl or Washington, D.C. This is the lowest level. We actually teamed up with a startup company called Fordham to build a transportable radar to go with the Morpheus and to go with our Sanctum counter UAS system that's open architecture. We can plug and play all kinds of products into that, but we are going to be building the radars. We are building the effectors or missiles. We are building what you see behind us. Morpheus is a counter drone system, which is a drone itself that uses high power microwave to literally fry the electronics of a drone. It can actually destroy 50 drones on one battery charge in one flight using absolutely no ammunition and go back for a recharge and do it again. And we're going to go all the way from that level, which could be 50 to 100 feet high, all the way up to space, where we got selected as one of the providers of a space-based interceptor that will come from space orbit and be able to hit ballistic missiles coming at the United States. So we're going to be at every level in every sort of product line. This company is built exactly for Golden Dome. It's a perfect match. So we'll be very involved.
And this company is in its element at this moment in time with this administration that recognizes the world on the march and the adversaries that are coming at America. That drone, the counter-drone business has become more important, hasn't it? Given the fact that we've learned a lot from the Ukraine war, and then we saw Iran take a page out of the Ukrainians' book and come up with these cheap drones. We've got to counter those drones, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. And there's a few ways to disable drones. One is, as I just suggested, using high-powered microwave to damage the electronics or the data link back to their home base. Another way is to literally throw a net over the drone, as you said, capture it, disable it, or even bring it back to your base. A third way is a laser, which we've actually used lasers in live fire tests out in the Western United States with our customers to shoot down not only just drones, but we're shooting down actual cruise missiles with lasers. We have a 300 kilowatt laser. We're going to 500 kilowatts, where we will be able to use light energy to disable drones. Again, there's no missile involved. It's very inexpensive to recharge the laser weapon with electricity and shoot down even more drones as you go. And then, of course, we can shoot missiles at drones. And so another invention that we saw for my first time exactly in this plant, along with what we show you behind us, which is the Morpheus, is something we call Grizzly. So what we've done with Grizzly here, Maria, is we've said, well, that JAGM missile, or the Hellfire missile as it's often called, that is shot from generally a helicopter down to the ground. why don't we just reverse the software and basically shoot it from the ground and hit drones? These are very inexpensive missiles in the $5,000 to $10,000 range each, which the Army has thousands of.
Wow.
And we repurposed that missile, put it on a little launcher, tied it into our Sanctum system, which, as I said, is open architecture. And now we can hit a cheap drone with a cheap missile. And what we want to do here, Maria, is to match cost to cost and also the missile or the weapon to the target. So if we got a ballistic missile target that's coming in at Mach 3 or 4, you're going to have a PAC-3 MSE missile to hit it. If you've got a drone going at 80 miles an hour, we can use a JAGM to hit that. So we're matching the threat with the cost, and we're matching the target with the weapon in a much more deliberate way.
I just love it. And we've done a lot on the hunters and the killers when it comes to drones. And I think it's just so fascinating. But what a story. I love your story, Jim. I mean, you're talking about record backlog. You're talking about missile production expansion. You're talking about acceleration on every level. And largely the U.S. is leading that. But I want to get your take on Europe as well, because Europe has been increasing defense spending. We know that. President Trump has leaned on NATO countries to do so, and they are doing that. When do those announcements actually become Lockheed revenue?
European partners and countries are an integral element of our entire production plan. So when it comes to, say, F-35, we just made an arrangement about a year ago with a great company in Germany called Rheinmetall to do center fuselage sections for the F-35. That Germany is now in the supply chain of the F-35 makes them more apt to actually buy the airplane, which is what they are doing. So European, we call co-production, or Asian partner co-production like we do in Japan, actually encourages more sales and pulls through our products from the United States, adds jobs in the United States. So we want to get as much demand from Europe, Asian, and Middle Eastern partners as we can. Part of that is putting co-production in place to encourage them to purchase our products, to interrelate with theirs. And secondly, what we will do then is pull in more value, more jobs, and more, basically exports from the United States to actually make that all happen. Yeah. This is a very important arena for this. And also, last thing on this, Maria, it makes our production system more resilient and more scalable, because we can use a factory in Germany now. We're actually going to be using them to do ATACMS missiles, move those ATACMS missiles that our European customers use much more than our American customers now, move that line over to Germany, and then replace that floor space with a more advanced PrISM missile in the United States. So we're actually shifting around our innovation, we're shifting around our suppliers, we're shifting around our capacity to be able to meet the goals that the Department of War has set for us. We're using our allies to help us.
Well, no wonder you had strong second quarter earnings. So let's look ahead here. What does the backdrop look like to you in the next 3 to 5 years? And I know, Jim, you've been pretty vocal about digital engineering, AI-enabled manufacturing. How has that enabled all of this as well?
Well, we're in the midst, Maria, of about a $6 billion internal transformation of our entire production system to digitize it. We call it a digital thread, all the way from concept to what we call sustainment, or taking care of the product after it's fielded. There's now a digital thread, and I'll tell you, one of the most interesting things I saw was at our Sikorsky factory a couple of years ago, where we were going from blueprints to build helicopters to a screen on the side of the wall with augmented reality goggles that the workers were wearing, showing them exactly how to build the helicopter. And I asked the team there, the frontline manufacturing group, our workers, well, how long did it take you guys to figure out how to go from blueprints, which you've been using for decades or years, to this new electronic system with the augmented reality goggles and everything? And I figured they'd say, well, it took a couple of months or a couple of weeks at least. They said, after a few hours, we got the hang of it. And now they can build things faster than they could before. So don't underestimate the American worker. They can learn new things. They can adopt AI. They can pick up the augmented reality. You don't have to be 17 years old to do it. You can be 55 or 60 years old. And these guys and gals just jumped right in. So we're in the middle of that whole internal transformation, and our workers are right there with us. So it's great.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Jim. Great to talk with you. We'll be watching the company's growth story going forward. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Maria. Have a great day.
And to you, we're going from AI in defense to AI in healthcare when I speak with the chief innovator at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Coming up. Stay with us.